I'm in the Bronx today. This is the closest restaurant for blocks around and the only public restroom. I'm here obviously for the Donald Trump rally. I have not been to the Bronx in an extremely long time. I was born in the Bronx. Hip hop music and Jason Goodman. Born in the Bronx in the early 1970s. I think it's gotten quite a bit worse since then. Wow, not too smart. Gasoline is cheaper than it is in Manhattan, but we're in a pretty economically depressed part of town and part of the country. I wanted to start over here. Cortana Park is just a few blocks from here, where the Trump rally is going to begin in a little over an hour. Usually President Trump is kind of somewhat later. Like they'll say it starts at 6 and then a bunch of people will present and then he'll show up. But I wanted people to see, I'm quite far from where we usually hang out in Manhattan. This was an odyssey on the subway. Speaking of odyssey, people who want to sponsor the show, Odyssey is a great way to do it. Check out odyssey.com/@Crowdsource the Truth. You can become a sponsor for only $3 a month, plus a 58-cent Odyssey fee. Odyssey's got I don't yet know the details of the technology, but there's a decentralized, censorship-resistant update coming. So Odyssey's a great platform for people to support. I wanted people to see, Manhattan is pretty economically depressed since the this problem again? Okay. Manhattan's been obviously having a lot of closures since the pandemic and all the lockdowns, but I mean, this is unlike anything I've ever seen. I don't know of any other place in New York or, I mean, even the United States where you've got to go to see just entire blocks shuttered. Is that Elon Musk? I bet you there's a lot of cars parked here today that normally wouldn't be. A lot of people were looking at me like, what the hell are you doing here? As I was walking down the street. We got, people who are sensitive. Maybe they're out on parole, I don't know. They don't want to be on camera. They're supposed to be at work or whatever. But this is nuts. So we've got President Trump coming here today. Earlier, Ocasio-Cortez, who I think this is her district. I wonder when the last time she was here. But she was saying that Donald Trump has got court, so he's got to stay in the 5 boroughs. That's wrong. He was in New Jersey like a week ago, and wasn't he just in Florida? He's not restricted to, Michigan gas is $3.78. Yeah, it was like over $4. What was the last time? Charles and I said it was like $4 or $5 in Manhattan. So that's cheaper, but you've got to hang out here and maybe get murdered. We got the East Bronx Academy for the Future over there. But this is what we got, and I'm not joking. There were really like no restaurants around. I mean, this is a part of the country that really needs attention. Why are we spending billions of dollars on illegal immigrants to ride around electric bicycles on the sidewalk in Manhattan, driving up hotel costs, increasing crime, driving away tourism? Why aren't we investing billions of dollars in revitalizing the South Bronx? I mean, look at this. They're worried about people stealing the shopping carts from here. You can't take a shopping cart past this fence. Anything around here that is not strapped down is subject to theft. Also, you've got the elevated train up here. I don't know if people realize this, but the subway in certain spots in the 5 boroughs of New York, it goes above ground. It's an elevated train. So that was fun. You can look at your phone on the train, something you can't always do on the subway. But I don't know what to expect today. I've definitely kicked the hornet's nest with that Norm video. And I think I got somebody here who's out on parole who's super sensitive to a camera being near him. So let's keep him off just to avoid a fight. I thought I had addressed that. All right, well, we've got something loose on this this setup. This is the park right here, Crotona. Sorry, I might have mispronounced it, but Crotona Park. We've got essential, SEIU union workers. Well, according to the stupid Mario brothers, those are the guys who were responsible for shaking down putative paperclip Nazi George Henry Swigert to get him to sign over the rights to his patent to the full duplex radio telephone. I don't believe that story. I think he was an Operation Paperclip Nazi and involved in some kind of secret arrangement with the government. We know there are people who have those. Friends of Andrew Weissman like Felix Sader, maybe even Michael Cohen, we don't know. But I heard estimates of like 3,000, I think this venue here in this park can accommodate 3,000. We can kind of follow the police breadcrumbs. Trump thing is this way? Why you gotta always be wise asses, you cops? Just be polite, goddammit. The car says courtesy, professionalism, respect, not wise assery, you fucking bitch. God damn. 5 minutes and the cops are already assholes. You ask them a simple question. Why? See, people say, oh, don't yell at her. I'm doing this to point out that that woman does not have the appropriate temperament to be a law enforcement officer. She should be polite to people, like this is a restaurant and I'm the customer and you guys are the maitre d's. Which way is the Trump rally, officers? Thank you, gentlemen. Yeah, the Chinese CCP members are polite because they don't want to blow their cover. Those women are pissed off that they got to cover a Trump rally. It's hot and humid today. What is with those cops? You know, if for any law enforcement officer who is watching, every single time any one of your colleagues behaves that way, they weaken law enforcement and put every single law enforcement officer at risk because it makes people hate them. I mean, look at this guy. He weighs 300 pounds. Who's he going to chase? It's absurd. First aid right there. So, I mean, on my way up here, I was feeling a little bit kind of like, you know, January 6th-ish. Just because who the hell knows what's going to happen at this thing? You know, it's the type of thing that I think a lot of people want to disrupt. So where is it? Do you know where the Trump thing is happening?
Straight that way.
Straight this way. Okay, thanks. See, like I said, I'm from the Bronx. So, I mean, I don't really remember it too much. I was about 1 when we left here. I guess it's in the park, right? I've never, as far as I recall, been to this park. Anyway, so they're saying that this venue in the park can accommodate like 3,000 people or 5,000 people. But they did have a kind of like a, you know, sign up for a ticket thing. It's free, obviously, to go. So I don't know why Ocasio-Cortez said that Trump is grifting. I mean, I guess he wants people to send money to his campaign, but what the hell is she doing? And but they said they had 10,000 tickets that had been distributed. So they're expecting 10,000 for a venue that can accommodate 3 to 5. But I don't know, we'll see. It's funny because on the subway coming up here, you know, I had to take a lot of trains and make a lot of connections. Also, I screwed it up at first. Didn't go out of my way, but I did take a rather circuitous route compared to what I could have done. And I asked, you know, one of the the MTA employee there at the train station on, like, I don't remember where it was, but one of the places where I was changing, I said, because they were talking about the police and this and that, and I said, are there a lot of police at the next station from the Trump thing? And the woman said, what Trump thing? So I don't know, I guess there's a lot of people who maybe don't know about it. But this is a pretty big park. I guess the closest I've been to this area. Now, didn't it say no motorized? What the? Jesus. I'm pretty sure that said no motorized vehicles, which would include gas-powered motorcycles going like 40 miles an hour. I mean, if that hit you, I think you'd be lucky to live. Do these people somehow know where the Trump thing is? Just like wandering into the center of the park. Not very good signage, if this is what it is. Something not connected well on the phone here that's doing that with the... do we see? I think maybe there's a tent over there, so maybe I'm heading the right way. Anyway, there was some interesting developments on Twitter. Thanks to all the new, X. Thank you to all the new X followers. A lot of people saw this video, a couple videos now, where I was speaking with Norm outside the courthouse. And it's funny, that video, it's become my most viral thing ever. And I would think the first video that I've done that 1 million people have seen, according to X, 1.3 million views. I did have another 1.2 or 1.3 million tweet, but that was just pictures. It was the images of that guy, I'm forgetting his name right now, Adam something. He was a video producer and a cinematographer making a Netflix special for Hunter Biden, and we had all these pictures of his specialized camera. I'm forgetting the model right now, but it was like a Sony, maybe FX3 on a DJI something. But I would say, hey, what's this camera doing here? And then other people started noticing it in other places and saw the guy operating it, and then we found out who it was. And he's done all kinds of Netflix documentaries, and he's commenting about that camera. And it seemed like the now broke sugar brother, Kevin Morris, I think his name is. Do you ladies know if there's some kind of Donald Trump thing going on over here?
Over there.
That over there? Thanks. So it seems when I hit that thing, it must be loose there. I thought I had resolved that. But he's down here by the lake. But anyway, yeah. So people saw that. And thanks to Laura Loomer for retweeting that. Obviously, Laura has a massive platform, and people who are planning to vote for Donald Trump are definitely looking at Laura's Twitter. So it was extremely helpful to me that she tweeted that, and a lot of new people have been introduced to Crowdsource the Truth. For people who don't know me, I've been around for a long time. And it's funny because initially, I put out that Norm video, and a lot of people who I didn't know were tweeting it at Laura saying, oh, Laura, because it was very, he got loomered. Let's just say it. Laura's a friend of mine. She's a colleague. We've been working together for years. Of course, I admire her work. Laura is absolutely brilliant. People who don't like her can just go screw themselves because she's so effective. And even if you disapprove of her methods, anybody who's just like, pitching insults at her, they don't get it. Laura's doing really important work, and I think I sort of knew this when I met her. Laura is a genius, literally, at so many different things, marketing herself and journalism. Now, wait a minute. This is a lake? Look at this. This is a swamp. Even the ducks won't go in it. Holy crap. Oh, with his one duck contemplating. But he doesn't, he's like, man, that looks disgusting. Even the ducks won't go. Or geese or whatever that is. But, I mean, what? I didn't. Is this okay? Doesn't this look like a disgusting, look, I see McDonald's cup holder in there, cover. Litter, standing water. How is this not a breeding ground for mosquitoes and disgusting things? Looks bad. I don't know, maybe at some point this was nice. Oh, this duck It's in the Bronx, even the ducks, they're bold. Back up, man. So where? Do you know where the Trump thing is happening? Okay, thanks. Yeah, see, okay, there's probably a lot of people who aren't from the Bronx here today. And it's like flooded over here. Everywhere is a swamp. I'm wearing because it was raining before. And remember, Ocasio-Cortez was happy about that. She wants her constituents to get muddy and wet and be uncomfortable. Yeah, so anyway, there was a lot of activity on Twitter. And see, as I was saying earlier, I've been around for a long time. A lot of people didn't realize that I've known Laura for like 7 years. We first met in Vegas right after the Vegas shooting. As I recall, it was right outside the Las Vegas Metro Police Station. I like these parts of the park where they have the little barbecue grills and you can have your own barbecue. It can be a lot of fun during the summer. But yeah, we met at the police station there and then initially did a bunch of reporting around Vegas together. We interviewed those survivors, Stephanie and some of her friends. I forget everybody's name who was there. But then we were back in Vegas and actually I had been to the coroner's office. And I don't know, for some reason, I just got the idea to go there and kind of went and knocked on the door. We'd have to go back and look at that video. I forget what the woman said, but she like answered the door and said something weird that sparked some investigation into it. And Laura got some great information from there. The second time I went back, we didn't plan it. I literally just ran into her right outside the place and we just started chatting. And while Laura and I literally were standing right in front of the coroner's office, I guess I had started a live stream. So Laura was talking and we were on a live stream, and within seconds of starting it, that guy, what was his name, Fudenberger or something really weird, who was the coroner, he opened the door and poked his head out like it was like a Monty Python kind of moment. Now, is that it? And then we had like a little, he wouldn't let us record it, but we had a little conference with this guy Fudenberger, who was maybe one of the scariest people I ever spoke to. He had the coldest eyes I've ever looked into. Like, I have a feeling this guy knows where a lot of bodies are buried. And Clark County in Las Vegas is one of the few municipalities in the country where you don't have to be a doctor to be the coroner. You're a law enforcement officer can be the coroner there, and he is. So this is the guy who decides when the 2 gunshots to the head is a suicide. And that is one of the Clintons' old tricks. When you control the coroner, you can do a lot of things. You know, if you're a chess expert and you know what all the pieces on the board can do and you've got strategies.
Come into our country from prisons, from jails, from mental institutions, from insane asylums.
This is the Trump store.
And they're terrorists, many are terrorists. Other than that, I think they're actually quite a fine group of people. We're going to stop the Biden spending spree. He spends on things like the Green New Scam. We're going to halt his inflation death spiral. Think of it, one of the greatest inflations ever in history. If you were making more money, it doesn't matter because you were taxed.
There's a lot of good Trump stuff to buy from this guy.
Pick up. That's why people are hearing all our economy.
He's driving all over selling Trump gear. Ha! Look at that with the
fixed numbers, and rigged numbers. Everything about them are rigged. From the elections to the economy, everything. And by the way, the one thing that's doing well is the stock market. You know why it's doing well?
I hope they don't give me a problem about entering with this camera gear. Sometimes they'll say, oh, you got to go to the press thing, and then I don't have a press pass, and then they say, oh, you got to go to the public thing, but you can't go in because you have a selfie stick or whatever. We'll see. I hope I'll get in. Even if I don't, there'll be lots of coverage of the president once he's inside there, and even just seeing this stuff, the park around it, who's coming here, who's selling Trump stuff, just the general kind of temperament of this neighborhood in the Bronx. See, now, I don't know, I wonder if this is people, that says New Jersey, so that's, yeah, I mean, drive your Porsche Panamera to the Bronx and look around for a public restroom. That guy doesn't seem to be for Trump. But there is a huge police presence here. I don't know, maybe much more than normal. And this is another thing they like to do, is that they'll close off the street with a garbage truck so that people cannot drive some truck in or something like that.
I just want my students.
I guess this is a protest. Where do you go to enter the main thing? So let's see who we have here. Let's see if we have any of the same usual suspects.
That shit is blood.
What's he saying?
I live down the block. Who you sold out to?
Ah, there she is. This maniac. I knew you were a paid agitator. So the police let you into that park so you could yell at the news. I got your number, lady, if you are a lady.
I'm no lady.
Yeah, I could tell. It's the beard, gives it away. That lady's a weirdo. I knew she would be here. I knew she would be here. So that woman, for people who didn't see, the other day after the live stream, I did have a sponsor exclusive segment that members on odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth, and anybody sponsoring on any of the channels, crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com, subscribestar.com, and patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. Anybody who's sponsoring the show can see those sponsor exclusive segments. That woman and a pack of maniacs, much like the people she's there with now, were in Collect Pond Park right outside the trial, where the Trump trial was going on. But they were, with those signs and anti-Trump rhetoric and all that, but they were on the pro-Trump side of the park. In a rare moment of actually thinking, the police decided that pro-Trump would go on one side and anti-Trump would go on the other. But those guys all were clogging up the pro-Trump side, I think because they wanted to be close to Turley and screaming when he was on the news, or put signs so that some news thing could see it. There was a reason why they wanted to be on that side of the park. And I told them, Laura played this video when I was on her show the other night, because the first day that we went there, we didn't know that they had separated the park into two halves, and another professional agitator came over and started screaming at us, unhinged, putting signs in our faces. By the way, that is not First Amendment. When you start shoving a sign in somebody's face, deliberately intimidating them and stuff, that's menacing. That's not protesting or First Amendment expression. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. Now let's see, do you have to, oh, this is voter registration. So I have like a ticket that they gave me, but I don't know if you need that or if you just walk in or what. There is actually quite a lot of people here, huh? See, this guy's got the right idea. Hit on the cops. We got a lot of people from the Bronx with Trump hats. Now, I will quite obviously be a target in this crowd. I would expect the usual suspects to be here. Crackhead Barney, Saeed Elatab. I think you're probably going to find Orrin Levi. We already saw that other lady. Let's see, do we need to show a ticket or? I have the ticket. What are we taking pictures of there? Oh, is that George Santos?
Oh, keep it up, keep it up.
So the good news is the ground is like not that wet. Is this the line just to get in? Nobody knows, yeah. So we got a huge crowd here. Nobody really knows what's going on. Before I pack myself into a huge crowd of people that don't know what's going on, let me just back up. Excuse me. Suddenly got a real, I don't know, some kind of tickle in my throat. Some people got here at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Look at that, talented basketball skills. Maybe that's a trick ball. Either that or that guy's really good at balancing. Yeah, I mean, this is a little bit January 6th-ish in that just, you know, everybody hanging out, selling the Trump stuff, talking, having a political rally. That's good that they kept all those protesting morons all the way down the street. Why have a fight? That's obviously what they want. Boy, I wonder if I'll get in. Oh, it's a ton of people here. It was definitely a journey getting up here on the subway. Oh, wait a minute, I think I just saw my stalker in the chat. Let's have a look. He's upset that he's been rendered futile. There she is, crackhead Barney. Disgusting prostitute loser. So where is Saeed Elatab? So she's got her masked up guy there. Why has this woman not been arrested yet? Spitting in the... Look at this guy. He's dressed like a criminal, ready to do crime. He should not be allowed to be in public dressed like that, and he's shadowing crackhead Barney. Let's get the cops on this guy. Excuse me, officers. Excuse me, officers. There's a woman over here, crackhead Barney. You saw her in the New York Post a couple weeks ago harassing Alec Baldwin. She's got a guy with her dressed in black, masked up to here, sunglasses. He's got a bag with him that's got something in it, and she's harassing people. That guy is there to beat anybody up, including me. Can I show you who I'm talking about?
Just point him out, point him out.
You gotta come over here to see him. There she is in the blonde wig, black girl in the blonde wig, and she's got a guy with her in black clothing. They're up to no good. He's masked up to here, sunglasses, he's got a heavy bag with him.
So we talked to them about twice, it was the right situation, but we got it.
She's here to cause problems.
I know.
Thank you, officers. She sexually harassed me. She had a turkey baster that she stuck up her vagina and then stuck it in my face. If a man did anything like that to a woman, he'd be rightly arrested. I'm not asking you guys to do anything, but keep your eyes on her, please. Thank you, gentlemen. Crackhead Barney. She better get the fuck out of here. There he is. There's the guy. So we're gonna see Walter Masterson somewhere near here, and probably Saeed Elatab. See, they're walking away, and that's smart. Get the fuck out of here. There we go. Let's get a lieutenant on her. Let's get her kicked out of here before the problem starts. Is he looking? He's not. No, he is. Good. Good. See, she's already created a problem. Not a surprise. I guess I'm sort of slotting into my role here. I'm already known by the powers that control most of these events as sort of, you know, in terms of like press access and stuff, and they don't want to let me in. So I guess I just hang out at the periphery here and check out who's causing problems. Good. We've got a whole load of community affairs officers heading that direction, checking out what's what. Well, people are saying the cops won't do anything, but it's going to prevent that guy in the black suit thinks he's like, you know, the bouncer or something. And the presence of the police will prevent him from thinking he's tough and able to do whatever what he wants. And I mean, we can see that when I spot them and I'm aware of where they are, they leave. I'm not afraid of them. They're afraid of me. And that's how that should be. She should be in jail. And see, the thing is, I think see, what a lot of people don't realize is, so those are NYPD community affairs. Then we've got that NYPD, you know, special response group, SRG, right? And there's an NYPD intelligence thing that I really don't know very much about. Maybe it's part of the special response group, but my point is not necessarily all of these things know each other. Hey, Dave, you're the guy who took the picture of Max Azzarello in the park, aren't you? That's Jason Goodman. How are you, man? Good to meet you. That dude, that was totally fake, that self-immolation. You don't know about that. Oh, he's got to walk away as soon as I start talking about that. I figured he knew about that. So this guy coordinates photographers for the New York Post, and he knows that Max Azzarello's self-immolation was fake. That's why he didn't want to talk about it. That's the type of thing, in my view, that if you say it to a photographer, fake, what are you talking about? Not just walk away the moment I say it. I don't know, that's my opinion. I could be wrong. Other people can look at that. That's now an element of public domain evidence. Maybe you look at that and think it's totally normal. I certainly don't. I guess that's somebody, because he's got a police escort there. This is kind of the VIP area. Oh yeah, there's what's his name? Gavin Wax. Yeah, so this is like the VIP area there. Gavin is the guy in charge of the Young Republicans.
Yeah, the line starts down at the end of the sidewalk over there.
Do you think these people, do you think the people waiting will get in?
Sorry?
Do you think the people waiting will get in?
We're pushing as many people in as possible.
TSA? TSA? Is that the Trump Security Association or the Transportation Security?
Okay, so apparently, after sending their sons to die in the Civil War to end the evil of slavery, now Republicans have changed their minds and they want to put black people back. into slavery. It doesn't make sense, bro. They murdered Republican President Abraham Lincoln for freeing the slaves.
I think he's right, actually, that they murdered Abraham Lincoln for freeing the slaves. There's a whole lot of information about a conspiracy that was in Canada with John Wilkes Booth and a bunch of other people. I think it's actually pretty well documented that there was a conspiracy. Look at this little girl.
Go to your phones and play it right now. I give you the card. You got the card?
Yay, Trump, right?
We want Trump! We want Trump! Not Joe Biden, Mr. Trump!
We got a young Trump voter there. That's great. Now, the other thing that happened was, this was really strange. And while we're waiting, I wanted to show everybody this. Michael Flynn blocked me long ago, the general. And I realize a lot of people who like Trump like Flynn. And I did too, initially. I've given money to his legal defense, and I actually spent a lot of money to go to an event that was a John B. Wells event raising money for him. But anyway, he blocked me probably over a year ago after I posted a tweet commenting about the attorney Stephen Biss. He's a criminal in my estimation, and I say that because I've seen a lot of evidence of him committing a wide array of crimes, most of them against me. Lawfare, stuff that was done to destroy Crowdsource the Truth and try to eliminate my ability to earn a living and to broadcast this kind of stuff to everybody. He was the attorney for Robert David Steele, who brought the first lawsuit against me. That was Steele v. Goodman. And he's involved with a lot of bad people. Anyway, Stephen Biss had a stroke. And I posted a comment saying that when you dedicate your life to lying about other people to try to destroy them, you make yourself toxic. And that toxicity can manifest itself in ways that might not be immediately apparent. And General Flynn's brother, Joe, just came out swinging, telling me that I'm a piece of shit and this and that, which was weird because I previously had a good relationship, I thought. He had been on my show. Hey, Savannah, how you doing?
Hello.
Jason Goodman, nice to meet you. You're doing great reporting.
Thank you so much.
Take care. But yeah, he just went off like, oh, you're a piece of shit and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what is this? What is this all about? And then I realized that Joe Flynn or James Flynn, or I don't know who, the Flynn family was also represented by Biss. Now you might say, oh, well, that's just a coincidence. No, Stephen Biss is a definite criminal. And I mean, possibly intelligence connected. He represented Devin Nunes. He represented the Trump media and entertainment group. I believe he did, because there was a whole thing where they had a cloud data arrangement with Rumble. And I'm very, very concerned about Truth Social. I think it is a trap that's been set for President Trump that is replete with legal pitfalls in terms of the financial deal, how it was set up. You know, a lot of people are saying that it's a pump and dump, and you know, there could be all kinds of issues there. Something going wrong for Elad, apparently. But I also just think that the platform itself is a trap, because I was on there for like 4 years and I got to 132 or something like that. Very, very low number of followers. I mean, people know the kind of content that I'm posting, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Now there's the woman that was fighting with Laura. So they could say the same thing about me. Oh, you're at all the things, but I don't know. I've only been to one Joe Biden thing, and that was his inauguration. So she also appears to have a big bruiser with her who is her security. See, and there's not a lot of Trump people wearing masks. Are you the Baphomet security for this lady? Are you the Baphomet security for this lady, sir? Hey, buddy, the Baphomet mask. You're her security?
Trump's a scumbag. Trump's a racist scumbag.
Why don't you show me your face, Baphomet? What's behind the Baphomet?
Trump's a racist scumbag.
You two are obviously paid disruptors who are put here to create a problem. Take off the Baphomet mask. You have a press pass, and you're complicit with these people. You should lose your press pass.
I'm sorry, I don't know what it is.
I can't understand what you're saying. You're mumbling garbage.
Trump's a racist scumbag.
So Baphomet, who do you guys work for? Who pays you to be here? Mr. Baphomet, who pays you to be here, you fat, bald idiot? Show us what's behind the mask, stupid. Take it off. You worried about COVID? How many vaccines have you had, moron? Or are you just covering your face so we don't know who you are? That's what it is. You're here to do no good, so you hide behind a mask like a coward. Hey, Ezra! So we got all the FBI assholes here. So are these guys with you? Ezra Frisch is with you? Bollock? Say again?
How long have you been a cam girl for?
Yeah, really funny.
Like you've been
So you see, these guys are here to disrupt. You're aware of that? You don't know. Are you protecting them? Because they always seem to have the police around them.
Everybody in the city of New York.
I don't believe that at all.
Do you think I'm in the FBI?
I don't think you're FBI. I think you're a douchebag actor who is hired by some sort. See, let me show you officers something. You see this guy dressed in black bloc here, not showing his face? This guy is at every event disrupting, and these guys have security. Here's crackhead get the fuck away from me. Show us your face. Take off the glasses. You don't need to, but don't advance on me. Look at this guy. He's wearing SAP gloves. He's hiding his face. How do you allow these people to be here?
A lot of you guys got COVID.
Officer Stark.
Well, you guys ever?
A lot of you guys got COVID.
How is this not menacing? How are you allowing this to go on?
This is a real piece
Get
of
them
shit,
out of here.
everybody.
Would you ever?
A real piece of garbage.
This is not menacing.
If you know what trash is, this is it right here.
Why do the police allow all these people to come around me and menace me?
This guy's fucking garbage.
Nobody's menacing me. Oh,
I
so
would not
5
take him.
people
I would not
surrounding
waste
me?
my dick on this piece of shit. I would not waste my dick on this piece of shit.
Yeah,
This guy.
you shoved a turkey
This
baster
guy.
in your vagina.
You're lucky it
and
was.
you put it in my
I wouldn't
face.
even put it in his pussy. I wouldn't even. He's not even worth it to put it in.
How are you guys allowing this
He's
to
a
go
piece
on?
of shit, this guy.
See, I think you guys are with NYPD intelligence, and all of these fucking people work for you. That's why you're looking around doing nothing while I'm being menaced by a gang. They are always around
Trash,
at these
everyone.
events, and there's always
Give it up for
police.
trash.
Look at what she's doing.
Give it up for trash.
Jason, aren't you always around too?
Trash.
What's the matter, Ezra?
Aren't you always around too?
I don't have the police with me,
He doesn't
and I don't have a gang with me.
job. Because nobody wants to be your friends. You don't have any friends.
What's your relationship to
He doesn't
Saeed
have any
El-Attaf?
friends. He doesn't
What
have
is
any
your
friends. That's
relationship
not a
to?
game.
So she's just struck me with the microphone. That's assault. I'd like you to arrest her. I'd like you to ask her to back off and leave me alone. Why won't you do that? You said you're here to protect everybody. You're doing nothing.
That's what he's trying to say.
She just hit me with the microphone. I'd like you to arrest her for assault. Why won't you do that?
Garbage.
Why won't you do that?
Garbage is too
Don't
much.
touch me.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that these people here are obviously agitators, and every time I see them, there are police officers around who do nothing. So we've got 324 Stark, and we've got 2331 Bollock. I like the 3-3. I think you guys are NYPD intelligence, and I think these losers are contractors. They're actors who work for companies that get hired by the police. to do idiotic shit, like come to things like this and pretend to set themselves on fire. Or you two dopes who are doing nothing.
So make your point now.
What do you mean?
What's your point? Uh-huh.
My point is, she's here with her tits hanging out. She sexually assaulted me by inserting a turkey baster into her vagina and shoving it in my face. The cops look nervous because I know exactly what they're doing.
Hey, I understand. We all understand.
They won't do anything to those people. Sexual assault, actual assault, all of these idiots. So see, and they're always hanging around the cops. Right there is the New York Post photographer who took the picture of Max Azzarello the day before he set himself on fire, but they released it that day to make the public think that the guy was in the park that day. Because the police control these protests and they insert the counter-protesters because they're morons. These guys I don't think even graduated high school. They want to beat me up right now, but they're worried that they'll get fired, arrested, sued. All of that would happen. I haven't broken the law, but they're incompetent. They should be fired. They're wasting our money. These are a couple of idiots standing around waiting for a pension. We got crimes waiting to happen. We got this guy in black bloc what's in his bag? He's got something heavy in his bag, and he's here to intimidate people.
Listen, he don't got nothing on that.
Whatever it is. These people work for the cops. That's clear. The New York Post photographer works for the cops. That's why he walked away from me when I asked him about Max Azzarello. The police will not protect me from those people, but they don't want to. Blow their cover and acknowledge that those people actually do work for them. So they're not going to arrest them. They're not going to protect me. They allow this crap to go on. In fact, they want something to happen where I can get punched and they can then arrest me. I bet you the community, affairs guys don't know, because it's going to be a compartmentalized operation. That's how this sort of stuff works. So let's keep our eyes on those two idiot police officers. I guarantee they're going to stay with that unit. What's your opinion about all those people?
Listen, I'm trying to say what's right or wrong.
Do you know that crackhead Barney girl?
I lived for 40 years in the Bronx.
I was born in the Bronx.
And I lived 5 minutes and around the corner, Claremont and Fulton. I just want to have somebody to put somebody out there to get the right word. Straight. I think Trump is stopping us doing that. My opinion.
Trump is doing what?
To give him his opinion, and he's gonna have it right, no matter what. But they're stopping him.
Oh yeah.
They're stopping him.
They're trying to stop Trump. Well, that's what those people were doing. They're here to disrupt. So you want Trump to be the president,
exactly.
Right?
I vote for him.
Everything was better when Trump was the president.
But this nonsense are coming on, and you see it. Everybody see it.
Right.
And they're trying to look the other way. But I'm here to support Trump, and Trump is going to do the right thing.
Absolutely. Thanks, man. I'm Jason.
Jason Leon.
Good to meet you, man.
For Spanish people, I'm here. I live 2 minutes from here. And
nosotros estamos aquí.
I'm aquí. We right here. I'm right here, and I ain't going nowhere. I hope Trump wins. If he wins, he's going to do it right. If he don't do it right, I'm going to be disappointed too. Because everybody's looking out for you, and you better do it right.
He's going to do it right. Watch out for those people, though. They're with the cops.
These people are,
they're just trying to irritate everybody. Right.
They probably somebody paid them,
whoever knows. So look, they've got armed security with them. The guy's got a Baphomet mask on his face.
They don't have to be like that.
No, but these cops are watching them, protecting them. It's the same people who come to these events.
Somebody's paying them.
Of course, and they're always hanging out with the cops.
And I'm glad that he came to the Bronx because he could see this, what was going on.
Exactly. Bronx bombers. Take care, Leon.
Thank you.
See you around. So there we go. See, this is the thing. Bullshit only flies for a very, very short time in New York. So anyway, wait. I didn't get to the point before because we got all caught up in that. But so, yeah, I put out that tweet. They would love to arrest me, I know, John. This is why I've been studying the law. I'm not a lawyer, but there's certain things that you should not do or the police will arrest you. And they're constantly racing in their mind, thinking, let's get him to do this, and we'll arrest him. But anyway, so, Tina, I haven't seen her in a long time. But, yeah, so Joe Flynn put out this tweet. He did not like it that I was criticizing Stephen Biss. And so I got into it with Joe Flynn, and I started realizing, like, what the hell is this guy defending Stephen Biss for? Something was just wrong. And when there's that kind of like stinkiness around something, I like to look into it. And sure enough, I started looking at all these nonprofits, well, specifically the America Project, which is a nonprofit run by Joseph Flynn. Now, wait a minute, look at this lady. This is almost making me think an FBI something or other. Certainly attracts attention. But I was looking into the America Project. It's a nonprofit run by the Flynns, and sure enough, there was a lot of questionable stuff about it. Specifically, Patrick Byrne, who allegedly donated $3 million to the thing and is worth, I've seen, between 300 and 800 million. That's a lot of money. He was paid $65,000 for being a director of this thing. Why would a super millionaire need to be paid 65 grand from a nonprofit that he's donating to? It didn't make sense. And what made even less sense was that General Flynn's brother, Joe, was the main director of the thing, and he was paid zero, but he was reimbursed something like $158,000 through an LLC. And the other weird thing is, this was not like some LLC that Joe Flynn had been running for years and years, that had loads of audit experience and had done all kinds of things with elections. This was just some LLC that he started like a year or two prior, and it seemed to be started exclusively to receive money from this thing. Now, I don't know. These are allegations, statements that I'm making based on information and belief that I have arrived at from observing evidence in the public domain. You might look at the same evidence, you might have a different conclusion, but that was what I thought from looking at it. Hey, this is the fake Trump. That's a good Trump impersonator. That got people. USA! Do people actually think it's Trump? I know, I could tell. Nobody's getting anywhere near him, and he's not just walking through a crowd of unknown people that crackhead Barney can access, but it is still good to see the reaction of the crowd, the energy here. It's really great. It is like January 6th. Wow, everybody thinks it's Trump. Man, that guy better be careful. The fake Trump is causing a riot.
That's the same man. He was working at Federal Plaza. That he let him go downstairs, and they fired 4 guys because he went down to 6 people.
That's an imitator. I don't know what that guy was talking about, but anyway, point of the matter is, they wouldn't answer these questions. These are very specific, very pointed questions. I looked at the Public 990 filed by this nonprofit. There are very suspicious aspects to it that they refuse to answer. So I started posting this around saying, hey, General Flynn, people who support General Flynn, can we get an answer to this? Maybe I'm wrong. These allegations have not been proven in court. Maybe there's something I don't know. Maybe you could clarify. But they didn't want to do that. The last text from the general, he said, you are a douchebag. D-U-C-H-E-B-A-G. So in addition to being unprofessional, unfriendly, and unable to control his emotions, the general cannot spell well There's Ezra Frisch. Interesting that he knows my name now.
Great.
So General Flynn said I'm a douchebag. And then here's the interesting part. So people saw this Norm video. People saw this Norm video that got 1.3 million views. Then there was a follow-up video with Ben Whitty's. I tweeted that. People saw that. And so I started saying, hey, this is really working, tweeting these follow-up. Then I had the George Conway. Then I had the Andrew Weissman. It was like, hey, these are like the 4 horsemen of the lawfare apocalypse. And so here's what's super interesting. Flynn unblocked me this morning, and he posted this tweet. Now, what is he saying here? He's saying, oh, for what it's worth, I had blocked Jason for a time for personal reasons, but he's for exposing the truth. The issue is vital. This is my tweet where I ask Alan, or what's his name, Weissman, Andrew Weissman. There's the 990s showing, the Flynn questions. But, Flynn is so delighted with my questions to Andrew Weissman, all about, guess who? Felix Sader. Isn't that super interesting? Why is it super interesting that General Flynn would have an interest in my interest in Felix Sader? There's a number of reasons why. Felix Sader, remember, told me in the park that he was recruited by Milton Blaine of the Defense Intelligence Agency. He might not have told me Milton Blaine, but he was very adamant about it being the Defense Intelligence Agency, and elsewhere we've seen that it was Milton Blaine. And so they don't want to talk about this secret agreement with Andrew Weissman, but they really, really, really want you to know that Felix Sader was recruited by the Defense Intelligence Agency, which, wait a minute, didn't Michael Flynn run it? Wasn't he the director of the Defense Intelligence Agency? And isn't that military intelligence? So what is going on with Andrew Weissman from the Department of Justice in 1998 signing a cooperation agreement with a military intelligence asset and then having him interact with civilians like me? First, as a component of the Emmys lawsuit, where he was represented by my attorney, his only other client. Hey, man.
It's been a while.
How you doing?
Running for Congress.
You're running for Congress?
Yeah.
Great, congratulations. How can people Vega for Congress? So give us the message.
Other way. Hi, yeah. I'm running for Congress in this district, actually, New York 15 against Richie Torres. So
but you're running as a
independent, unaffiliated. It's hot out here.
So where are you at with RFK these days?
With who?
You and I ran into each
Never
other
heard
at
of him.
RFK. I'm with
Who's
you.
he? No.
Exactly.
Look, I was deeply disappointed in RFK because I did believe in him. I was listening to his speeches, like when he would reference the American University speech his uncle gave in 1962 at Amherst College.
Right.
I mean, he seemed like a good guy, and then October 7th happened, and it just like, look, he's bought completely by like all this like shadow Israeli, and the Adelson money. No, I'm not anywhere near Kennedy.
Don't you think there was a ceasefire in place and then Hamas attacked a concert and killed a bunch of girls? They just found that really pretty girl who they had raped and killed. They found her in a tunnel
I don't endorse
dead.
October 7th at all.
So don't we think that violated a ceasefire, and it's a little bit disingenuous to have a ceasefire and then kill a bunch of girls at a concert and then demand a ceasefire? Isn't that a little weird?
No. You can't go around twisting First of all, October 7th, we don't even know exactly what happened. Egypt gave Israel a 2-week warning.
I don't want to make this a big argument about
I'm
October
telling you,
7th.
But no, because look, you want to talk about October 7th, like that's the kind of puntum zalium, the whole thing, right? We don't actually know what happened. We find out that Israel was indiscriminately firing on its own people.
This is the type of thing I don't want to get into on the live stream, because you could say something that's going to get it struck, and I think we don't agree on this.
We'll end it with that I'm right and you're wrong.
Okay, here you go.
No,
Good
I'm
luck
just
running
kidding,
for
man.
Congress. You just almost ended the stream there.
Shit, my bad.
Take care, Jose. Have fun.
Yeah.
There we go. So yeah, if we want to start history on October 8th or only pay attention to what happened after 1948, okay, that's fine. But anyway, my point is, Felix Sader has some kind of connection to Michael Flynn. because Michael Flynn obviously has become extremely concerned that I've put a lot of attention on Felix Sader, Andrew Weissman, and the obvious relationship that he has with the Lawfare community. Now, what is the Lawfare community? Lawfare is not this amorphous thing that Jesse Waters can just talk about on Fox News. It is a practice, a methodology. It's also the nonprofit institute run by Ben Wittes. And there are going to be different practitioners of it. It's quite possible that Stephen Biss is running Lawfare, but he is opposed to, other people, maybe Weissman or whatever. So the point of the matter is, what Flynn has done with that tweet, because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to see that, and they're going to be confused. They're going to say, oh, Jason, he's extending an olive branch. Flynn is helping you. He's saying, hey, this is an important tweet, and I blocked Jason, but I want to bury the hatchet, want to talk to him. That's not what he's doing. He's trying to get in front of it. There's a social engineering tactic where if there's a dangerous story out there, they get right on it to control it. George Webb is an expert at this. Right now, I saw him recently, I don't know about right now, but he's in Vegas, I think. Was that for the Christina Bobb trial? I don't know. Somebody invited me on a podcast and I went and looked at his thing and I saw that he had interviewed George Webb. Now, just interviewing George Webb doesn't make me automatically think you're a social engineer. It's going to depend on how you interact. And I don't want to go into too many details about how I evaluate this because it's going to educate them as to how to improve their techniques. But my point is, well, let's stay on Flynn. He's using George Webb-style techniques. You see, when they were able to destroy the big Crowdsource the Truth channel, which they did for the same exact reason Flynn is doing this, the word started getting out. That was about COVID. That was in 2020 when I was going around New York City auditing the hospitals. And that was just like, I don't know why. It occurred to me that the whole thing was stupid from the moment it began, and I just didn't believe it. So I figured, well, I'm just gonna go outside and see what's going on, walk around, check out the hospitals. And sure enough, every hospital I went to didn't look like there was any kind of commotion going on. There was a load of ambulances waiting around doing nothing at each and every one of them. And when I asked ambulance drivers and doctors and things if they were busy having a pandemic, they laughed. So that was weird. Then we had that Cameron Kyle Seidel, who I got on the phone, and we found out that he was the intern for Colleen Smith, the woman who was in that New York Times video about that hospital in Queens. What was the name of it again? I forget. Elmhurst Hospital, Elmhurst Medical Center, whatever it was. Remember, that was the epicenter. And the day before I went there, they had just like this many people, like a huge crush of people all lined up, to get whatever, tested. Yeah, they didn't have the vaccine then, so I guess people were just getting tested. And I mean, it was like the end of E.T., where everything was intense and people walking around. Or that, they had a pandemic movie, I forget the name of it. But point is, that guy's a post photographer as well. I think they all work for the cops.
How you doing? I've seen some of your work lately.
Thanks.
Great job.
Thank you very much.
Keep it up. Mind if I get a picture
Absolutely.
of you? There you go.
Thank you for saying hello. Take care. So, yeah, I was walking around and it started to get traction. Like, people started seeing that and saying, hey, wait a minute, maybe this guy's onto something. And the channel really started to grow. It went up to like 120,000 subscribers, and all of my co-hosts on the other shows, their shows were growing.
Games for Trump!
Oh, now the real muscles here.
You think that's really Trump over there?
Huh?
You think that's really Trump?
No, of course it's not Trump. Why you got a stick in my face?
Because this is my microphone.
Okay. I don't think it's Trump. They wouldn't let the president walk around in a crowd without a lot of security. So you go to Bronx Charter Prep School? You want to be a reporter? Is that the idea? All right, cool.
I think that this is a diversion, so I think that this is just where people wait from the actual Trump that's going to come sooner or later. So.
Well, I think that guy is a Trump impersonator, and he wanted to say hello to the crowd. It was fun, right?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Derek.
Derek? I'm Jason. Good luck, Derek. Thank you for coming up to me.
You have a YouTube channel?
I do. It's called Crowdsource the Truth.
Crowdsource the Truth? All right, thank you, sir.
Take care.
Nice to meet you.
You too, Derek. Take care. I just, when somebody sticks something in my face, that's my immediate reaction, but then I realized he was a very young kid. I didn't want to be mean to him. So Flynn, just like when I was gaining traction with those hospital trips, this is starting to gain traction, this video with Norm. And by the way, there's a very, very small number of virtually brain dead, obvious Joe Biden voters who have responded to some of these videos saying like, oh, you're unprofessional, you're cursing at the guy, you're rude. I don't care what those people think. And then there's some British guy who tells me, oh, you have to do this and that. By the way, if I've ever said I'm a journalist, it's to consolidate the idea for people who want to, fit something in a box and understand what's going on. The truth of the matter is, I'm a guy who's walking around with a live streaming cell phone contraption because I'm curious about the world around me, and I find the field of journalism to have failed. That's why I started doing this in 2016. It's similar to my experience with 3D in that when I was a kid, I remember I went to a 3D movie, and maybe one of the first ones that I remember, with my brother and actually with that guy who Charles and I ran into months, maybe years ago at this point. I said, that's an old friend of my brother's. That guy, my brother, and me went to a 3D movie at a movie theater that doesn't exist anymore, Treasure of the Four Crowns. I think I was 10, and it was like magic. It was the closest thing to magic I had ever seen, and I just became super fascinated with 3D. But then as I experienced it throughout my life, a lot of times when I saw it, it was terrible. And I couldn't understand how come the first time I saw it, it was so awesome and this is all bad. So as I got older and started getting into photography and, end of high school, and when I got into college, I started experimenting with 3D. And by the end of my career in Hollywood, I had invented things, and I applied for a patent that we never went through with for financial and legal reasons, but I've invented things and I've developed techniques that have become industry standard in 3D. Not because I was trying to be what already existed, but because I saw failures and shortcomings that I wanted to correct. So if people want me to be a journalist, okay, call me a journalist. If people want me to be a documentary filmmaker, my point is, if you take a picture of something and someone looks at it and says, ooh, who is the photographer? Me. Are you a photographer? Well, yes, no, maybe. I guess everybody is a photographer. So if you come to an event like this and you post any aspect of it for the public to see, are you a photojournalist? Are you a video journalist? If you give your commentary on it, you're doing journalism. So anyway, that's in the eye of the beholder. I'm just a guy who's here trying to figure out what's going on. And I think that my alternate approach to doing that, it's been pretty effective. It's been working well. And so the thing I think that Flynn didn't like is that, first of all, I'm exposing Felix Sader in a way that, people haven't thought about that guy at all before. I'm exposing Andrew Weissman's relationship with Felix Sader, and I detect that is what the general doesn't like. There's something going on between the DIA, the FBI, Felix Sader, Andrew Weissman, Robert Mueller, Valerie Caproni. I haven't said this, I don't think, until now. It is public knowledge, but it's a very obscure fact that almost nobody would know. Remember the other day when I was speaking to Felix Sader in the park with his attorney, Tom Sema, co-counsel to Jonathan Snyder, my former attorney. I absolutely do not believe that the co-counsel and the client could say, okay, Snyder, we got to go talk to somebody, and not tell him who it is. I just don't think an attorney would stand for that, and I don't think his co-counsel would recommend that he even subject himself to that. So when he told me that Jonathan Snyder didn't know, and he acted surprised when I told him that Jonathan Snyder had been my attorney, that seemed like deception to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Felix said he doesn't lie. But then again, if he were a liar, that is exactly what he would say. The other thing that happened was when I started asking them about Valerie Caproni. So we were talking about these individual at-risk missiles. That's a good, wait a minute. What did Michael Flynn have to do with Operation Cyclone? He was in military intelligence. When was Operation Cyclone? When did that begin? I have a feeling we might be onto something. Operation Cyclone. Operation Cyclone was... Derek, let's talk about something. Have you ever heard of Operation Cyclone? So are you going to do like a report for school, for Bronx Prep Charter School or something?
No.
Are you here just for fun, or it's a school thing?
Just for fun.
Okay, have you ever heard of Operation Cyclone? Let's read what Wikipedia says that is. So it started, Operation Cyclone was the code name for a United States Central Intelligence Agency program to arm and finance the Afghan Mujahideen. Do you know what that is?
Isn't that terrorist group?
Well, the Mujahideen is the Army of God. It was a collection of Islamist fighters in Afghanistan, in an ungoverned area of Afghanistan, and it was led by Osama bin Laden. Do you know who that is? That's the person they claim was the mastermind behind 9/11. But the secret for you is that all of this is false, according to me. Anyway, this was a whole program where from 1979 to 1992, prior to and during the military invention by the USSR, this was support for the Republic of Afghanistan. The Mujahideen were supported by MI6, and basically they sent, look at this, here is the Mujahideen meeting with President Ronald Reagan. He's the last Republican presidential candidate to come to the Bronx. Were you born in the Bronx?
No.
Where were you born?
I was born in the Dominican Republic.
Aha, when did you move to the Bronx?
I moved into the Bronx in 2013.
All right, and you wanted to ask me a question?
Yeah, I'm so sorry, but I can't forget your YouTube channel name.
My name is Jason.
Jason, and your
YouTube channel, Crowdsource.
Crowdsource.
The Truth.
All right, thank you, Jason.
Take care, Derek, okay? Go look up Operation Cyclone. Take care of yourself. I like an inquisitive young kid. He seems smart and nice. I think that guy just recognized me but couldn't place the face. So,
My questions, Amy.
gotta watch out for these people with the press passes. See, now wait a minute. Wait a minute. The police control the press passes, and they don't want to give me one. Those press people were whispering in the ears of crackhead Barney's blacked out security. I have a lot of evidence that causes me to believe that crackhead Barney works for the police. So we're putting some stuff together here. Anyway, 1979. So when does Flynn join military intelligence? And was he in Afghanistan? Yeah, you see, they don't want people to know what happened to these individual at-risk missiles that Felix Sader was tracking as a result of a presidential directive that I believe, one of which was used to shoot down TWA 800. And Felix Sader said, of course, when I asked him that. So Michael Thomas Flynn is a retired United States Army Lieutenant General. Now, he said he had 33 years in the Army. He tells us that all the time. So where's his career information? Early life, military career, 1981. That's interesting. Flynn was commissioned in the U.S. Army as a second lieutenant in military intelligence in 1981. His military assignments included multiple tours at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and the 82nd Airborne Division, the 18th Airborne Corps, the Joint Special Operations Command, where he deployed for the invasion of Grenada Operation Uphold Democracy in Haiti, 25th Infantry Division. Initially, he was not going to be deployed to Grenada in 1983, but he was able to convince a superior officer to have him included. So it says he was commissioned in 1981. You guys got nothing better to do? Get out of here. So what was Michael Flynn doing relative to Operation Cyclone? Now we have more questions for the general. Why is your brother getting paid through a sketchy LLC? What do you have to do with Operation Cyclone and Felix Sader? See, and it seems if you're willing to do a large enough crime, on behalf of the government, you can then grift and do whatever you want for the rest of forever, and I guess they'll just protect you. Hey, I'm not getting in line. I just want to stand on that for a second. Wow. I don't know. Can people count crowds? I think it's going to be more than 3,000 people here, and there's a lot of people who are in there already. Yeah, I think that the NYPD intelligence unit has a lot of undercover press people. And if you aren't one of their undercover press people, I don't think they want you to have a press pass. Because I think they want to be able to control what the public sees. Sorry, excuse me.
So we're here with Maria and Caesar.
I think they want to control what the press sees. They want to see where people like me are. This is what I think. Hasn't been proven in court. I don't really often see cops wringing their hands. They usually seem pretty calm when they're about to beat me up. But when I figure out what they're doing, they get nervous. I don't know. What do people think of that? Is Flynn? This is just a hunch right now. I don't really have any evidence other than these loose pieces I'm putting together in real time, kind of stream of consciousness as we talk here. What does the chat think of that? Flynn and Operation Cyclone. Always funding both sides. Exactly. I'm curious to know what people think about that. There's definitely going to be people in the audience who know way more about Operation Cyclone than I do. I mean, I'm aware that it occurred and I saw that movie. Isn't it interesting that they put Tom Hanks in the movie? They want, you know, their controlled people to help you understand what they think happened, right? And then also, wasn't Philip, what's his name, the guy who died from a heroin overdose? Philip Seymour Thompson? That guy played the CIA guy. But I think something is here. So this is talking about, on Wikipedia, Flynn, see, that's super interesting. It's talking about Flynn going to Grenada in 1983, but separately it says he was commissioned into the intelligence, military intelligence in 1981. Well, that's smack dab in the middle of Operation Cyclone. What the hell did he do from 1981 to 1983? Was he hanging out with Felix Sader and the Mujahideen in Afghanistan? I could believe that somebody like Michael Flynn might be able to get Osama bin Laden's personal satellite phone number. I don't see how a schmuck from Brooklyn Public School can do that. I mean, Flynn is kind of a schmuck too, but he's at least a military guy. Other military guys are going to know him. He's going to have been through training. You know, those kind of guys. You plop me down next to a grip truck, I guarantee we're going to have a conversation and a laugh. those kids from high school in the Bronx will be more likely to beat me up. So where is Crackhead Barney's security? This is their plan, is that they're over here agitating the crowd. Her black bloc security is here to beat up people like me who are gonna figure out her game. Yeah, I mean, I think this is the live stream, the action out here. What kind of maniacs are disrupting? If, when this line subsides, I can get in, I absolutely will. But I just think I would be kind of waiting in line this whole time if I had gotten in there. And if I'm going to be able to fit in there, I'll fit in at the end. And then people can watch, like, I guess probably Right Side Broadcasting, or who has these broadcasts of Trump rallies. There's always good, clear, I'm never going to get anything. You know, the section of my January 6th video where Trump was actually giving his speech, you can barely hear Trump at all, I think. But then that was good. Charles and I left and we went over to the Capitol before it all started. We got all kinds of reconnaissance, just like we are today. We're learning about how the police work, meeting more nervous officers, more security for Crackhead Barney. I haven't seen Saeed Elatab. I'm pretty noticeable out here in the street with the selfie stick. Let's check out the VIP area.
What are y'all gonna try to arrest me? Lock him up! I can't say lock him up. I got no support. Lock him up! He's a rapist, he's an insurrectionist, and he's a racist. He's all of it. Lock him up! Lock him up! You wanna know? The document! You want the document for an insurrection! A whole insurrection! Lock him up!
No, don't go there, man. This woman's nuts.
That's how I like them.
Then don't let me get in the way.
Lock him up! Lock him up!
Shut up!
I believe in the Bronx.
So did you see Costello testifying the other day? Michael Cohen's attorney testified.
Oh yeah, I know.
So that guy just revealed that Michael Cohen came up with the idea, paid the hooker out of his own money.
And stole the money.
And Trump never knew.
And stole money.
How can it still be a trial with that?
It's a scam. It's a sham trial.
So let me ask you, they've been saying that a lot of people who feel disenfranchised, black people, Hispanic people who've gotten the shaft by the law traditionally, are feeling they're commiserating with Trump because they see that he's getting the shaft. Do you think that's true?
Yeah and no. Everybody that I talk to, because I red pill motherfuckers for years, everybody give a fuck about the money. No one cares about him getting locked up.
You were doing better when Trump was president, right? I was.
Hey, I was doing fine, yeah.
But now, everything's more expensive, right?
Shit sucks right now.
Trump 2024, right?
Goddamn right.
Take care, man.
Take care, man.
Uh-oh. We got some special needs thing going on.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what's going on here, but we got a lot of... So, I mean, again, if you wanted to come over here and create some kind of complicated situation for the police...
You do not have politicians coming in speaking their truth. He's done honest and they do whatever. Trump speaks what he says and he does what he says. Trump! We need Trump!
Quick question, officer. Quick question. It's illegal to smoke in a New York park, isn't it?
You have parking enforcement.
But it is illegal, right? Yeah. Hey, bro, it's still illegal to smoke in New York City parks. Put it out. Put it out, dickhead. It's illegal. You're breaking the law. Ezra, why is your cameraman always breaking the law, smoking a cigarette in a New York City park, harassing this nice woman? These guys are here to make you look foolish, ma'am. They are not for Trump.
Well, I'm sorry for them, because they're not making me
He's gonna take the footage and try to make. They are fools.
If you want to hurt me,
This guy's smoking a cigarette in the park, breaking the law. This guy goes everywhere, interviews Trump supporters, and tries to make people look stupid because they got nothing. Don't fucking touch me, lady. Don't put your hand on me.
I watch you.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I thought you were with him. I thought you were with him.
I'm not fucking with the leftists.
I'm sorry.
I watch you. And
I appreciate that. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sorry I yelled at you.
I should have wear my
That's
gear.
okay. That's okay.
Actually, I have the big
These
account
guys
on X.
are. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And big guys follow me.
So what do you think about this? What do you think about the whole thing going on here with all these disruptors? This guy, look at these two idiots are here. These guys have no respect for me. All these people smoking cigarettes in the park. All of you guys are fucking assholes. Why is that? Why can't you respect the other people in the park and follow the law, Ezra? Why are you such a fucking asshole, man? I don't like you at all. But you got your whole crew smoking cigarettes. They don't care about other people. You know, you guys claim to care about immigrants and people's rights. It's against the law to smoke cigarettes in the park, and each of you don't give a fuck because you're all assholes. You know that? You're an asshole. You're a fucking asshole. You're a fucking asshole. Why don't you just put the cigarette out and respect people, you fucking asshole? Excuse me, officer, isn't it illegal to be smoking in the park?
Well, this is the street.
But it's in the park.
It's the street and it's not illegal.
It's the street in the park. It's illegal. Why are the police always so quick to talk about what they're unable to do? You guys don't do fucking shit. Go get on a treadmill, goddammit. Fat bitch. It's illegal to smoke in the park, and they're standing on the sidewalk. Go ask them to put the cigarette out, Sergeant, would you please? How did you become a sergeant? Was that given to you at Dunkin' Donuts, the sergeant's stripes? Look at your ass. It's bigger than my car, and it's an SUV. Pathetic, each of you. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. They're just here to stand around. And you know what? That's more of those community affairs cops. And they're protecting them. They will not do anything to them. They were there because that screaming woman with the special needs kid was there. I come over there. Those people are not afraid because they know they're with the cops. They are there to get me to do something that the cops can then arrest me for. And then that makes big news. Oh, the guy who harassed Norm is now doing whatever, getting arrested for telling the police they've got an ass larger than an SUV. Okay, so people are saying buffering. Ah, the police are probably hitting me with, I hope I didn't lose the stream. Is it still live? It's still going. Yeah, what's gonna happen is just like on January 6th, we're going to start to have a ton of people over here using mobile data. And that starts to crowd the network. There's just nothing I can do. Nothing I can do about that. You're with the Post, right? Cops? There's nothing we can do about that, but if the stream breaks or anything goes wrong, I always have a backup that will be reloaded later after I get home, and that'll be made available as a director's cut to members and sponsors. So if you go onto odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth, it's totally free to subscribe, and that's become the largest repository of Crowdsource the Truth legacy content on the internet. So I really encourage people to check out odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth. It's also the most economical way to sponsor the show, just $3 a month and a 58-cent Odyssey fee. You're going to get access to a lot of sponsor-exclusive content, and you help keep the show going. People can also go to crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com or subscribestar.com or patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. And hopefully we will not lose the stream, but if we do, it'll be restored there later. So So it's now about 5:50. So it seems that Trump, he's scheduled to be here within 10 minutes, but I have a feeling it's going to be later than that because they probably want to allow more time for everybody here to get in, and that makes sense. But also, Trump is usually late. They say 6, and then it starts much later, and that's fine. Just make sure that the stream is still going on Odyssey. Each of these platforms have different things that make them sort of more or less. Yeah, it's still going great. Hey, thanks to everybody who's watching right now. Really appreciate that. So yeah, what do people think about that potential link there between, I mean, it's almost undeniable between General Flynn and Felix Sader. And so, okay, let's talk about how this ties to, we'll talk about how this ties to the Get Trump movement, the Lawfare movement, and Andrew Weissman. So, okay, remember, the first Trump domino to fall was Flynn. And it was because he had some kind of screwy conversation with Mike Pence about speaking to Kislyak, the Russian ambassador. So that really started the whole Russian, collusion, and then everyone's like, oh, how could Flynn be, oh, she's got one of those deflated Mylar dicks that Scott Libido sent into the sky the other day. There's littering. I really did not like that. A lot of people think that was funny. But you see what I'm saying? Scott Libido is part of that crew. See, all these people are hanging out together. Ezra Frisch is friends with the lady who attacked Laura. Oh, he's just interviewing her. I see. But did anybody ever tell you that you look like Lindsey Graham?
Pardon?
You look like Lindsey Graham?
Actually, I'm his bastard son.
All right, there we go.
I try to keep it quiet, though.
I would too. Take care. But right, so Flynn is the first domino to fall. He kicks off the whole thing. Remember, they had to fire him. Now, that seemed like, oh my God, what a big deal. And then everybody rallied around Flynn. He became a hero within the pro-Trump community, the MAGA community. He's doing movies now. I think he's probably making more money now than he ever did in his entire life. And if you think about it, maybe that was the plan from the beginning. Everyone's like, oh, he lost his house. It was so terrible. Did you get a good shot? We're not friends because you're a fucking asshole. See, this is what social engineers do. I'm consistent with that guy. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, bygones be bygones, let's be friends, and then get him on a live stream so that he can try to violate a court order in the way that Ivan Raiklin did. That's the other thing that's happening, is that a lot of people saw that Norm video and they were like, ooh, Ivan Raiklin, look, you should talk to this guy. And people don't realize that I already know all these people and I've been around for a while. The reason why people don't realize that is because for the past 4 years, there's been like an unprecedented effort to crush me. Over $1 million spent that I know about, that's documented in public 990 IRS filings. So somewhere somebody is monitoring this stream, telling Ezra Frisch, get away from those people. Goodman just saw you standing next to the Mylar dick, and it's making you look bad. Actually, the Mylar dick maybe makes him look better. I don't know. But it makes no sense that these people haven't been arrested yet. The other thing about Flynn is, immediately when he got jammed up, he went and hired Covington and Burling. Now let's examine that for a second. That makes no sense from the standpoint, first of all, that it's Eric Holder's super Democrat law firm. Why would somebody who has left the Democrat Party to join Trump hire that law firm? A. B. Michael Flynn is not a real estate billionaire. Michael Flynn does not own a rocket ship company or an electric car company. He's kind of like a regular douche. And I wonder, does a Covington and Burling even take that case? And why would they? You know, when I was trying to get an attorney, before we got into all the Lawfare stuff, so many of the attorneys in New York that I called, and I think it would be the same in Washington, D.C., they wanted me to fill out questionnaires that had questions about, you know, what are my pronouns? And there were various little subtle hints that this was not the law firm for me, and not for me for Jason. For me, if you were a conservative or a Trump supporter, these law firms just, they're obviously Democrats. But aside from being Democrats, Covington and Burling is a huge, incredibly expensive law firm, and it sort of doesn't make sense to me that an individual like Michael Flynn would be, first of all, able to hire a lawyer like that, and second of all, would think, yeah, this is the lawyer that I need to hire. Somebody like Sidney Powell makes a lot more sense, an individual independent attorney who is sympathetic. Holy crap, there's a lot of people here. I don't think there's any way that I'm getting in, and I think there's a lot more than 10,000, but I don't know, I'm not really good at counting this kind of stuff. This guy reminds me of a cartoon character with that hat, but I can't remember the name of the cartoon character. Would the Yankees hire a guy that fat? Would the Mets, would the Knicks, would the Rangers, would the Islanders hire a guy that fat? Why are the cops? You should have to be an athlete to work for the cops. You shouldn't smoke. You should be able to run. What happened to my sound? You should be able to run, you should be fit. Holy crap. Excuse me, officers. Do you guys have any sense of how many people have come to the event today?
No.
No idea? Is there any kind of like technical something that counts that to know, or they just...
Probably up front, not over here.
At front, okay, thanks. Yeah, somebody's got to know, right? Because if they're saying there's a capacity to just let people in until... Like something they said when I was up at the front didn't sound too good. They said they're just going to stuff as many people in there as they can. Don't you want to like know how many people can fit and have some approximation of how many have entered before you just stuff? Let's look down the street and see how far this line goes. Can I re-enter over there? If I poke out over here, can I re-enter? I can re-enter? See, there's a much different security profile here than there was at the court. Why is that? It's the same former president. There's obviously something else at the court that they're trying to protect. Here, I can freely move in and out, go right up to the front, go right up to the VIP area. This guy, I'll kick somebody's ass. That's a gigantic man right there. He's suited to being a cop. That's not suspicious at all. Wow, it's quite a line. Quite a line. Totally lost my train of thought as to what I was talking about before I came over to this line. Does anybody in the chat remember what I was talking about? Let's get back to the chat here. That's a huge line. Holy cow. Buffering, people say. Oh yeah, right, the law firm. So, yeah, I mean, for me, when I was trying to hire a lawyer, obviously Michael Flynn makes a lot more money than I do. He had that whole Flynn consulting thing. I'm just saying, he's closer, kind of, to me, in that he's an individual and not a billionaire, than he is to Donald Trump or some kind of like giant corporation that would hire Covington and Burling. So why would they even represent him? Why wouldn't they say, yeah, sorry, this is a conflict of interest because you are a pro-Trump guy and we are entirely up the ass of Barack Obama, so get lost. It seems much more like a controlled lawfare operation where Covington and Burling was representing Flynn because the whole entire thing was under bizarre control. Remember, that was the case where we had Emmett Sullivan, that judge brought in a special, what did he bring in? Maybe it was a special master, that other judge who sort of like represented the judge. Gentlemen, do the police have any idea approximately how many people have come to the event today?
We don't know, sir.
Don't know?
No.
Thanks. See how he smiled and said, sir? Little polite things like that are the difference between being a professional law enforcement officer and being a bitch in a uniform or a costume. Holy cow. Such a huge line. It's like not ending. It's really something else. So I just find it implausible that Covington and Burling, first of all, would represent somebody like that, even if he wanted to be represented by them. And just like I got this vibe from all of these law firms that clearly were not remotely ideologically aligned with me, it just seemed like it would be a disaster to hire any of those law firms, and Flynn did. So then after, Scott, to his credit, he's mostly an idiot, but Scott Bennett was the first one to raise this point, that why has he hired Covington and Burling? And then we started talking about that a lot, and that coincided with Flynn leaving Covington and Burling and hiring Sidney Powell. But they never really explained why Covington and Burling would have taken his account in the first place, why he would choose them. It just reeks of lawfare. And so, I mean, again, lawfare is not always, we're bringing a malicious prosecution against Flynn or a malicious prosecution against Trump. It's a complicated array of tactics. And I think in this case, Michael Flynn is a lawfare operative. And his whole entire prosecution was a charade to get Trump. And so that would have been coordinated with Weissman and Norm Eisen and Robert Mueller. So see, the other thing we need to consider is this, another component of the Patriot Act is essentially the creation, or maybe it's just the codification of this thing, the intelligence community, which is one of those things that you sort of think you know what it is just from hearing it. But yeah, the Strategic Response Bicycle Squad. Get some strategic bicycles in there. Trump is a Nazi, that person has assigned. It's a stupid sign. Right on the sidewalk. Guys riding the bike in the park, on the sidewalk. What's with these guys? The cops are right there. Yeah, it's lawfare to get Trump. Right, this is the IC, the intelligence community. So, obviously it's anybody who's in intelligence, but it is also, I think it's an LLC, like the Intelligence Community LLC. We should look that up. But it is also, in a broader sense, they're talking about the CIA, the DIA, the FBI. And remember that idiot Tony Shaffer? Ooh, he was at that John B. Wells event. That's where I met him. And that's where his stupid secretary or girlfriend or whatever that chick was sort of succeeded in honey trapping me. But they were doing something to me. That was also where Field McConnell turned on me. Field McConnell acted like a real jerk. And they really tried to jam me up at that, what was that thing called? Operation Classified. That entire thing was a fundraiser for Flynn. And Tony Shaffer was there. And he's also Army intelligence, isn't he? But he's the CIA, but he's like an Army colonel. I mean, that's the thing. I don't know enough about how all these things work and interconnect and all that. But it sure seems like they all know each other and work together, and they're in the IC, the intelligence community. The other thing that's interesting about the IC is that, so after 9/11, Tony Shaffer was all over the news about how the real problem is that the FBI and the CIA can't share information. So these unconstitutional things that were created way after the United States of America was conceived and themselves are individually unconstitutional, even the things that were put in place to try to keep some constitutional protections, you know, to stop those things from becoming tyrannical in the way that they obviously have. Shaffer was on the news saying, yeah, forget all that. We need these things to be interacting and sharing information and having task forces and joint, you know, all kinds of operations and information sharing and all kinds of stuff like that. And I noticed that when I was interacting with the FBI in Detroit, when George and his brother conspired with a U.S. District Court clerk to file a forged document, ECF number 12, in Swigert v. Cable News Network. Anybody who watches George and comes on anything that I post and says, oh, you're a liar. What is this saying here? I sometimes get distracted there. Anybody who's going to come in there and say I'm a liar on behalf of George, I'm asking a very pointed question. Where is the pro se filing receipt for ECF number 12? They'll just say Jason's lying. I'm saying, what am I lying about? I'm asking a question. You don't have the receipt. It's a forged document. Anyway, when I was dealing with the FBI over this, I was dealing with Special Agent Kenneth Engberg. And I don't remember his email address. It was something to do with his name at FBI.gov. And what's interesting is people like James Comey and Andrew McCabe and Valerie Caproni, their email addresses, this is like the Batmobile of e-bikes, their email addresses are like, you know, Valerie Caproni at ic.fbi.gov. And when Ben Wittes emails James Comey on December 28th, 2016 to kick off phase 2 of Get Trump, he sends it to Comey's personal email address, Reinhold Niebuhr at whatever, and then Reinhold Niebuhr forwards it to Comey whatever at ic.fbi.gov. So that's the intelligence community. Is Flynn part of the intelligence community? Is Felix Sader part of the intelligence community? It seems like maybe. And maybe this is how they all know each other, and this is why they're all interacting, and this is why they're all freaking out that I'm, you know, doing this. By the way, I'm not doing this because I got nothing to do. I'm not doing this to get clicks on YouTube. There's a lot of things I could do. People see I have a wide array of skills. I think if I just wanted clicks and money, I should probably be making YouTube videos about AI, how to animate things with AI. I've actually developed some interesting techniques for that. I'm doing this because in 2016, I saw that the country was on the verge of destruction, and it's only gotten worse since I started. And the irony is, one of the very first things to land in my lap was this whole situation with this guy, Peter Smith, you know? And I just had set out to make a YouTube channel, kind of asking questions, trying to answer these unsolved crimes and delving into government corruption. I mean, people see what Crowdsource the Truth is all about. I hadn't quite dialed it in when I first had the idea, but this is what I wanted it to be. And when I met George, I had observed him doing crowdsource investigative journalism on YouTube. And I said, this is it. This is exactly what I intend to do. All right, so we got the loud music going now. So I guess Trump is about to start soon. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get in there, but this was still good to see the crowd and gauge just basically who's here, what's going on. Check out the usual suspects, Crackhead Barney. I haven't seen Saeed Elatab, which was surprising. We did see that Baphomet mask on that crazy woman who was attacking Laura. That's a good find. We'll recognize that fatso the next time we see him. But, you know, when I first started, I connected with George and I just figured, hey, this is great. He's a journalist, I'm a video producer. We'll go investigate unanswered questions and explore unsolved crimes, and we'll do it like that. So one of the first people he wanted to interview was Charles Ortel. That made sense to me. I had seen Charles on YouTube talking to Lionel and other people about the Clintons, and I guess that was one of the first kind of things that got me interested in all this stuff, was like realizing that the Clintons were horribly evil. When I was in Hollywood and doing Spider-Man and all that, I just was like, yeah, you know, whatever, Clintons, he's the president, everything's okay for me, so I got no beef. But then when I found out all this stuff, I was horrified. And so George set up this initial meeting with Charles, and that's where Shane Harris called. And I didn't know this at the time, but everything that Shane Harris was talking to Charles about on this impromptu phone call was exactly what Ben Wittes had emailed to James Comey. Weird, right? I'm convinced that this was set up and that Charles was in the net. He was a target of the dragnet. I've said it before, for people who haven't heard it, it seems to me from all the evidence that I've seen that they were trying to use Peter Smith and they were trying to use Peter Smith to get these 33,000 fake emails that were supposed to be stolen from the Russians, stolen by the Russians from Hillary Clinton. Peter Smith was emailing Charles, hey, I'm close to getting these emails. You're gonna want them. There's gonna be a ton of information about the Clinton Foundation. And Charles is saying, no, I don't want stolen emails. I want public domain information. And Peter Smith, he was pretty adamant in the emails that I've seen, multiple emails sent. I don't know if adamant is the right word, but he was definitely trying to convince Charles to accept these emails. And Charles didn't want them. But before, oh. People going crazy. Whoa, look at that, open door, heavy guns. Wow, that's a presidential motorcade.
Yes, sir, it is.
I've never seen one before in person like that.
USA! 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 USA!
But where is the Trump car? That's cool. Good energy here. All right, so I guess Trump will go on soon. Yeah, see, it's interesting to see who hangs out and who doesn't want to talk to me. I wonder why. I mean, who tells them, yeah, don't talk to him?
Fight like hell!
I don't know. Peter Smith. That's another question for General Flynn. Did you or did you not ever speak to Peter Smith? The Wall Street Journal is speculating like crazy that Peter Smith was in communication with General Flynn, but it's never been confirmed. And Shane Harris was calling Charles because he's saying, hey, what's your name doing on this document that says that they're trying to raise money to buy these 33,000 emails? And Charles said, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. That was this ridiculous document, the demonstrative pedagogical summary to be, I forget the name, stupid name, written by that British guy, Matt Tate. Remember, the email from Ben Wittes talks about a series of dispatches from a private British intelligence company. He's not talking about Christopher Steele and Orbis business intelligence, because that was already done. That was July. Now we're in December. He's talking about a different British private intelligence company. He's talking about Capital Alpha Security, Matt Tate's private British intelligence company. And in fact, the same night, or later that night, I should say, June 30th, when when Shane Harris calls Charles, that same night, Matt Tate, see, these community officers are hanging out with these disruptors. They're clearly watching them. So it's community affairs that controls these losers, it would seem. But that night, Matt Tate publishes an article on the Lawfare blog called That Time I Almost Got Recruited by the Russians. Something close to that. Oh, they're saying, let's go, Brandon. But if you Google what the hell was I just talking about? God, it's so hard to keep my thoughts straight. Right, if you Google Matt Tate Lawfare, That Time I Almost Got Recruited by Russians, it will get you right to the article. And the thing is, it's such an incredibly detailed article about what he is describing as a, coincidence that he was reading the Wall Street Journal and he realized that the article was all about him and information that he had provided and stuff. Right, so it's buffering over here, I guess people are saying, because I think the police are using some equipment around those guys to make it so that you can't. I think they have some way of non-Stingray interfering. I don't know. Just all this weird activity around these emails and Peter Smith and his death. And initially we thought they killed him, but I don't think that anymore. I think he did commit suicide. But I think he was assisted by Jonathan Safran, because that guy acts incredibly weird when I try to call him as well. And he knew exactly who I was the first time I called him on the phone 5 years after the incident. How did he know that? He's a lawyer in Chicago. You'd think he's busy and important and wouldn't know a damn thing about me. Did that guy hit you with the bike? Miss, did that guy just hit you with the bike? Are you deaf? She's deaf. That was pretty baller, Trump showing up with all the vans, and I would like to have dudes with machine guns following me around. It would definitely calm you down, I think. But
let's go, Trump!
Absolutely.
Let's go, Trump! Fuck Joe Biden! Fuck Joe Biden!
Where do people find you on Twitter?
What is it? Oh, I meme.
I meme. Oh yes, I've seen you. Excellent. Thank you. Very good. And this guy's got the Pepe. Is it Pepe? Pepe the Frog? I don't know. It might be a joke that I don't get. Has anybody noticed that every single time I ever ask a police officer to enforce the law, like ask somebody not to ride a bicycle on the sidewalk, or ask them to ask somebody in the park to put out a cigarette. They won't even do that. They could politely say, sir, it is against the law. Could you please respect everybody around and put it out? The reason they're not doing it is because those people work for them. I'm surprised people aren't, I guess they won't let you, but we could use a barbecue out here right now. This is a lot of people. I don't know, what do people think? It's a mini January 6th. Hopefully nothing bad happens. See, now that's stupid. Should not be doing that. Why is he doing that other than to be an asshole and risk people getting injured? That guy looks like Russian intelligence. USA! 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 There's a lot of people here. What's going on here?
Pregnant bitch.
So we got crazy people. What is he saying?
He's a pro-Trump. He's anti-Trump.
Just making fights. That's a good shirt. Hey, excuse me. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Can I just see your shirt for a second? So I think that they're not going to, there's no way they're going to be able to accommodate all these people. And I would think at this time there's very unlikely them getting in. So here's a live feed from Fox. It's showing me a commercial, but I can tell by the music that Trump is not on yet. Can we see all the way up there? South Bronx for Donald Trump. Yeah, the Fox News is showing an empty podium right now. So we do not yet have Trump. I think what I'll do is that when Trump goes on, maybe I'll leave because then people will watch Trump and I'm not going to have a feed of him. So that'll be cool. We have like kind of like the, wow. Oh, that's the anti-Trump up there. Whoops. Yeah, I mean, I don't really feel like tangling with anybody. I'm not trying to get into an oppositional kind of argument with anti-Trump people. I just wanted to come here to see the event. Yeah, it's a good shirt. So, okay, let's look at the chat here for a bit. I'm sorry, I keep saying that and then moving away from the chat, but I'm curious to know, what do people think about General Flynn unblocking me today to pretend to be my friend by promoting my Andrew Weissman video. See, the fact that he chose the Andrew Weissman video and not the Norm video, that guy says Foxtrot, Juliet, Bravo. He must be a vet. FJB. Now, wait a minute, what was that? Okay. Whole different ball game this time. I agree. Now that crane was holding up a flag before. Why did they put it down? Well, why do they let this warning Trump hates you if anti-Trump are supposed to be over it? What's going on here? We got the lieutenants coming. Oh, we got a dog. Is that a bomb-sniffing dog? Yeah, I mean, there's no way anybody else is getting in. It's just super duper packed. And there's still a lot more people showing up. There's something over here that makes me cough. Well, I think that I might be getting close to having seen what we want to see here. It's a great event. A lot of people. And this is not just a bunch of people who came from New Jersey, which is what Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez anticipated. This looks like a lot of people from the Bronx. The people I spoke to, not that many, but they were from the Bronx. This looks like people from the Bronx to me.
Where is Lou Valentino? You know who Lou is?
Nope. See, this is what I mean. Here's a guy vending stuff. Why aren't these guys all over the place? People would want drinks and hot dogs and stuff.
When we hold them accountable, when we hold these communists accountable for the treason they committed
I guess
against
maybe this
the people
line
of the
is
United
moving
States.
Now, what is going on with that? Is he selling a Trump puppet?
We are the American people, and we will hold them accountable.
I think it's going to be more than an hour even until these people get inside. Maybe that's pollen. I don't know. Hey guys, is Tina here?
I think she's inside.
Inside. Yeah, it's like the Trump New York, you know, glitterati. So the Boogie Down Bronx, birthplace of hip hop and me. Kind of diverse place. Now this guy can't be for Trump with a Palestine flag. That guy Jose Vega with his wonderful ideas. You know what's interesting about him? I met him at the RFK event, and I was, I had my live streaming set up, and he was nice, he was friendly. We exchanged, Twitters or whatever. Uh-oh, we got a fight. Oh, of course, with Ezra Frisch. Let's see this guy get his... Yeah, it's Ezra, that big dopey guy. See, that's what they want to do. Ezra's in there, creating a fight. This is what they're here for, to create a fight so that the cops can arrest somebody. Of course it's Ezra Frisch. Of course it's Ezra Frisch. He's here to start fights. Why do they let that guy in?
Come on, officers, right out! Right out! I pay your salary!
And of course, that New York Post photographer is right in there. That's the guy who photographed Max Azzarello and doesn't want to talk about it. And the police are here to make sure nothing happens to Ezra Frisch. So are you here? Are you individually protecting Ezra Frisch? Does Ezra Frisch work for the police, ma'am? Because it seems like the police are inserting dangerous agitators into protests, and then when I ask you about it, you walk away from me. Does Ezra Frisch work for the police, Sergeant? Sergeant Nix? Does Ezra Frisch work for the police? Are you guys inserting dangerous agitators into these protests regularly? Because it seems like that's what's happening. And when I ask these officers about it, they walk away. You ladies need to lose weight. You are just disgustingly out of shape and you are not suited to be law enforcement officers. Don't tell me what to do. Why don't you enforce the law? You got something to do. All you're doing is standing around protecting criminals.
So what's going on? We talked earlier.
That guy Ezra Frisch, who was just in the middle of that fight, just like that girl crackhead Barney. For some reason, I'm able to determine that these people are always around when fights are happening. How can the NYPD not come to that same determination? It seems to me they're working for the NYPD. Now, maybe not you. I get it, you're in community affairs. What division of the NYPD is the intelligence unit part of?
You said it, there's an intelligence unit.
You guys are the intelligence unit.
No, I don't work
Who
in
is?
intelligence. I do community affairs.
Who is?
I'm not sure if they're out here.
Right, because it's compartmentalized and you wouldn't be told. But that guy Ezra Frisch is. And whatever the fuck the police think is intelligence, it involves getting me into situations where I get almost beaten up and the police don't do a fucking thing about it.
So when you told me that you almost got beat up earlier,
not today.
Yeah.
That was an encounter with that woman last time.
I moved over there.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. You seem like a very professional law enforcement officer. These other people, when I see them and say, hey, this guy's smoking a cigarette in the park, isn't it illegal? Can you ask him not to? They won't even ask him to put out a cigarette. So what's up? Thank you for asking. Take care. So I think we know those community affairs officers, they don't want to talk about it. Ezra Frisch is always in the middle of a fight. He's always agitating at a pro-Trump event. Why? So see, this is a different outfit for the cops. So people who know more about the cops will know more about what's going on. But if you want to not have fights, there's ways to do that, and this is not it. So see, that convict Trump already is that woman who we identified who was irritating Laura. I found her name at the time that happened. I'm sure I have it back at the apartment on the laptop, but I can't remember it right now. She was an immigrant, which I could tell from her accent, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when I asked her, you know, if she was here on some kind of visa, I was actually incorrect. I was surprised to learn that you are allowed to protest the government, even if you're here on a visa. But I can still share my opinion with her that if you've come to the United States as an immigrant and you don't like it, get the hell out. But obviously she is a paid disruptor. She's at every single one of these events. And you could say, oh, Jason, you're at every single event as well. But you'll notice that I'm not injecting myself into the middle of every single controversy and trying to start a fight at every single event. And I'm not hanging around the cops the whole entire time I'm here. So we've now observed that behavior from Ezra Frisch, Crackhead Barney, Orrin Levi. The problem with the police intelligence unit is that they're stupid. What's that? What do you think about all this, sir?
People got right to that point of view.
Are you from the Bronx?
I was born and raised in the Bronx. I live below 149th Street.
I was born here, but I grew up in Manhattan.
I went to DeWitt Clinton High School.
So what do you?
Still all male.
What do you think about Donald Trump coming here to the Bronx?
He can go wherever he want to go. And so he had that ego and so forth. That every action is a reaction.
Do you think this will be helpful for the Bronx or not helpful?
All it's going to do is going to pull the covers up a whole lot of people. On whose side are you on? Because if you talk about you in the middle, you're going to get hit by both sides. So as a poll worker, and I saw what happened the last year when I worked, people need to come out and vote.
You were a poll worker in 2020?
Poll worker, yes.
And what did you see?
Well, they came out.
People voted, but for Trump or for Biden?
They voted for Biden. They came out. They voted for Biden. So
do you think Biden has been a good president for the Bronx?
We put it like this. After, let's see, after Truman and Eisenhower, and so forth, they need to, I feel this way, if the United States can rebuild Europe and Asia after World War II, they need to take that money and invest it in the Bronx. Because this district right here, where I skip, is the poorest congressional district in the Northeast corridor. The poorest congressional district in the whole country is located in Tupelo, Mississippi.
Wow.
This district here and that district is about even. And this Northeast corridor, this particular district has no business being in that particular number. All the resources that are available.
But wait a second, why are they giving all this money to people from other countries who are coming here when there's Americans in this district who need that kind of relief?
Somebody making a profit.
Right, exactly.
Somebody's making a profit.
Stealing that money, right?
And when you read Forbes magazine, which I have a subscription to.
What's going on? We got a fight brewing, I think.
Well, most demonstrations I go on very peaceful. That's where you get your point across. When you start going in this knucklehead behavior, my explanation is take that mess down to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. They will give you a uniform and a paycheck. I got drafted 55 and a half years ago. Hell, if you want to rumble, go for it.
So who do you think will win 2024?
So much speculation there. You can take that name bookmaker and casino out of here, and all depends when people come out. But a whole lot can happen.
Do you think they'll convict Trump in this trial?
A whole lot of that same thing. Take it to bookmaker, casino.
But do you think it's legitimate what they brought, these charges? The lawyer paid the hooker. Trump didn't even know about it.
Well, let's put it this way. It's an accessory. And they got an indictment. It means something was said in that grand jury in this state right here. Because we're in New York State has two kinds of grand juries. An accusatory grand jury and an investigatory grand jury. Whoever said they got an indictment and brought a trial. Now it's up to how the judge is going to charge the jury, whether they're going to get a conviction or not. The key is going to be how the judge is going to charge that jury.
I guess we'll find out next week. Well, thanks for speaking to me, sir. Have a nice day.
But like I said, it's interesting. It's interesting.
Take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself too, sir.
Be safe. So we've had some agitation over here. Oh yeah, I was talking about Jose Vega. So I met him at the Robert Kennedy event, and we exchanged Twitter stuff, and we were in touch. He sent me a direct message. Oh man, what a cute dog! Whoa, how old is that little dog? How old is that little dog?
A month.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's a little pit bull, huh?
Tri-breed bullies, American bullies.
My God, the eyes.
Yeah, they
What's this guy's name?
Blue eyes.
What's this little dog's name?
Huh?
What's the dog's name?
He's for sale. I didn't give him no name or nothing like that. I got 3 more in the house. We're just getting rid of them.
Wow. Man, I wish I could take care of a dog. That's a cute one.
You want to say hi?
Oh my God, the smile. Isn't that a cute little
Who's he
dog?
voting for?
Huh?
Who's he voting for?
Me. Because no Trump ain't gonna give him no baby food, or Biden ain't gonna do nothing for him. I'm doing everything.
So this thing was obviously scheduled to ramp up once Trump gets ready to speak. So these guys are going to probably try to do something stupid. And see, Ezra Frisch knows to be over there on this side when this is all going to start up. Do you live in the Bronx, miss?
No, I'm just visiting family.
From where?
Friends.
Wow. So what do you think about this whole event?
I'm just against racism. That's it.
Okay, no problem. Anyway, enjoy. Uh-oh, everybody's running. What's happening? See, now it's just the wait for the fight time. This is all stage nonsense over here, I think. They want, you know, riot and fight content. You know, it would be good to have a little baby pit bull and raise him to be my best friend and then have him eat criminals later. But I don't know anything about how to raise a dog, and my apartment, I don't think is dog compatible. I don't think a pit bull is a smart kind of first dog either. Too dangerous, right? I don't know how to train a dog.
A bunch of...
Boy, that was a cute little dog, though. Smiled. Let's see if Trump has started. I think we would hear him speaking, right? Oh no, he is. He's up there. Yeah, so they're going to try to start a fight over here. So yeah, I guess a lot of people will go watch Trump. Well, yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling.
Yo, Randy!
Yeah, this is now just going to become fight content over here. What are they doing? Of course, it's Ezra Frisch again. This guy's agitation. See, it looks like he's going bowling. What the hell is he wearing? Looks like he's going bowling in 1978. How are you always in the middle of every fight, Ezra? It's amazing. You seem to be starting them. You look like you're about to go bowling in 1978. How is it that you're always in the middle of every fight, Ezra? How is that? Do you work for the NYPD Intelligence Corps?
I follow you on Instagram.
Do you work for the NYPD Intelligence Unit, Ezra? Yeah, you're too stupid. Too stupid. Who do you work for?
Are you lonely? I feel really bad. Like,
Say again?
Do you have friends?
I have plenty of friends, yeah. I just happen to be talking to you because I noticed that you're in the middle of every fight. I think you're here to cause fights.
Not like this, right? It's the most you see.
Yeah, it's so funny because they don't like Biden either. Biden too.
That guy is causing trouble. And see, I mean, what kind of a stupid social engineering comment is that? Do you have any? Sorry?
I saw you at the trials.
Thanks, man. Yeah, with Norm.
Yeah, Norm. Whitty or something like that. The guy.
What's that?
Whitty.
Oh, Ben Whitty's, absolutely.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was great, wasn't it? Thank you, man.
Awesome.
I'm Jason. Nice to meet you.
Hey, pleasure to meet you, Jason. My name is. I'm on Kick. I'm on Slot IRL.
There we go.
Yeah.
Tell people where to find you.
Kick.com. But this is the content area. This is where all the content is. It's like they're fighting. They're doing like
because we've got agitators who are making
that
happen. It's Ezra Frisch. It's that idiot with the convict Trump already. They've got their security people with them. I'm sure crackhead Barney is in there.
Oh yeah, I saw her already.
So the police place these idiots here so they can create these fights, and then they arrest whoever they want.
Yeah. But thank you for being out here.
Thank you. Take care. Thanks for coming over and say hello.
Okay?
Take care. So everybody can see that this is the fight area, and this is just being agitated by morons. All right, so I think I might be ready to leave because I think Trump is speaking now, and the longer I stay here, the more I'm sort of pushing my luck with. We know who's here.
Look what we got going on here.
Ice cold water, $1. One for the water. $1.
It's pretty reasonable. I'll get one of those.
Pretty reasonable?
It's very reasonable.
Get better than that, huh?
The money goes to him. Thank you. Ice cold water, why would you give $1 to Trump? He's selling water. The people of the Bronx think they run it. I bet you not half of those people are from the Bronx. Ezra Frisch is not from the Bronx. These are infiltrators and idiots. Let's see who we got up there.
Ice cold water, $1. I
don't think I did. Maybe I did. I literally parked my earlier.
See that? Is that the fatso that was hanging out with crackhead Barney? So we got all these stupid fat cops hanging out down here, checking out their handiwork. Yeah, it's good advice from Donnie Girl to get on the train before it gets dark. I think we've seen what we need to see here. We got the usual suspects agitating. huge crowd came out to see Donald Trump, where Ocasio-Cortez thought nobody was going to come. You guys from the Bronx?
Yes, sir.
I was born here, so
Oh, yeah?
what do you think? Trump going to win 2024?
I mean, listen, a lot of good stuff going on here. I mean, a lot of support, but, you know, let's see what happens, man.
What do you think about the trial?
Oh, man, the trial's going crazy right now. I mean, I would say at the end of the day, you know.
But you
facts
heard
will prove
Costello,
how you
right?
feel.
The lawyer who used to
What'd he say?
represent.
What'd he say?
He used to represent Michael Cohen. He said that Cohen came to him and said Trump knew nothing about it. He paid the hooker out of his own money. They're setting Trump up. Michael Cohen is a fucking liar.
A lot of different stories out there, man.
Take care of yourself.
You too, brother. Thank you.
Be safe. Okay, so I think that's it for the rally. We'll just check what everybody. Oh, that's a hat that says 4547. So great turnout today at the Donald Trump rally in the South Bronx. Trump is still speaking. I saw they had a clear shot of him on Fox. I like it. This was a good event to come to. A fun, historic, kind of summertime thing. A barbecue, though, feels like it was missing. And all those people, you know what, I wouldn't mind it if there were authentic Joe Biden supporters who came here. I just don't think that any of those people are that. I think they're motivated by money and other things. Now, do I remember how to get back to the train? That's a no. Thank you, officer. Take care of yourself. See, that guy's a professional law enforcement officer, and he deals with me with respect, and I'm going to deal with him with respect. But people see, so many of these other cops are just jerks. I like that guy. Probably he's too nice and honest to advance through the NYPD. They'll figure out, uh-oh, this guy's not a criminal. Get him out of here. Now, wait a minute. Is this electric Cadillac? I think it is. Is this a Lyric? Isn't this like insanely expensive? It looks so ugly. It looks like a station wagon. No, it's not. But it is E4. So what is that? Yeah, it says Lyric. It is. It is. So that's an electric, expensive Cadillac. I wonder if the sales are strong for Trump gear. Have a lot of people been buying Trump gear? Have a lot of people buying Trump gear at this event? Not that much.
I mean, inflation.
That's true.
It's hurting everybody.
But I mean, you had an expectation. You've been to these events all over the country. The Bronx, what'd you think?
Not the best one.
Not the best one.
Not the best one. We definitely had better. This was
definitely not the worst.
But the fact,
not the worst, though.
but the fact that anybody came and it's deep blue New York.
There's a lot of people here. There's a lot of people here showing support.
Where are you from? What state are you from?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Have you ever been to the Bronx before?
No, this is the first time.
What do you think of it?
Oh, I love the Bronx.
But
I love
it's-
the food. The food's amazing.
But it's kind of like
I mean,
super mess, right? I was born in the Bronx.
and it's getting worse and worse because bye.
Do your best, man. Thank you. Have a good day. That was Russian, I think. So there's some people who are just here to agitate, some people here to sell Trump gear, and
It's by far the biggest subway infrastructure in the world, and we're going to make it by far the biggest, and now we're going to make it
I wonder
by
if
far
this
the
is.
best. We're
Hey,
gonna
look
make
at
it
that.
beautiful again.
There's a guy with a cat on
And
a
all of
leash.
it is topical.
I don't think you
know,
see
the
that too
expensive work
often.
People don't understand because they're not in construction. It's topical work. It's topical. It's the expensive, the hard, the labor, the money.
How come you almost never see people? How come you almost never see people walking cats on the leash?
We're going to let New York's finest do its job.
But how come other people don't do it? How come nobody else is really doing it?
Most importantly,
All right.
and importantly for the people.
That wasn't really a very good explanation.
We are going to make life in New York affordable again. It's not
Oh, that is Trump speaking. Life in New York affordable again.
Joe Biden suffers out the door. I will rapidly build the greatest economy in the history of the
It is very New York to hear that the ice cream song in the park. It's probably selling drugs in that ice cream truck. Now wait a minute, I think I came by that disgusting pond. Save the puppy. I know, he was so cute. I just don't think I could be an appropriate puppy parent. I don't know the first thing about dogs. And don't you need to be a dog expert to have a pit bull, aren't they? You got to train it or it's going to bite people and stuff. I don't know. I think I maybe would need a Jack Russell or some kind of little dog. 100K people at this event, is that what they're saying? I mean, again, they kind of always say that, but how do you know? How do we know? It's definitely a lot. You know, it's way more than anything I've ever seen go to a Joe Biden event. They have like 6 Jeeps and Ocasio-Cortez for Joe Biden, and that's it. Oh, this is cool. They have the speakers all throughout the park. That's smart. Oh, we got a flood over here. I don't think I came through this way. Oh yeah, I came through the barbecue area. Oh wait, maybe he's just right up there. This looks like an area where a lot of people have their dogs.
Deportation in the world history.
Get him out of here!
Rack them up.
Because listen,
you're
you're from the Bronx, right?
I'm gonna be part of ICE.
I was born in the Bronx.
And I'm searching and I'm hitting the streets.
But isn't it true?
Once it go in there, you can record me. Once he put it in law, I'm gonna get my ICE jacket and I'm hitting the streets. I do.
You're gonna go work for ICE?
And at night I'm gonna put my ICE jacket. I'm gonna be working.
Serious question though.
Need them out of
Serious
there.
question. Since
Yeah.
Joe Biden became president, hasn't everything in the Bronx gotten more expensive and stores are closing and everything is getting worse?
Civilization just dropped. Like we third world. I come off the train, they selling half rats. Clothes right next to dishes right here, and I gotta go around and walk around them to go in the street to get to my place.
Yeah.
And how come all this money they're giving to people from other countries? How come they're not rehabilitating this neighborhood? They have all this money to give.
Well, they're not really being taken the whole country. It's about taking the country down.
Right.
In order to save an apartment, you gotta save the house first, right? So we gotta save the country because it's people higher up that's trying to kill the empire.
What do you think about this trial they have Trump on with the hooker?
I don't care about a man getting.
But do you think that's real? Do you believe any of that?
I don't even believe it, but if it is, he just getting his little thing on.
But wait a second though. Donald Trump, whatever anybody thinks about him, we know he thinks he's the greatest in the world, right? Everything Trump does is the best. When he dated Karen McDougal, she was the Playboy Playmate of the Year. He only wants the winner, the top. Why does he want just some random porn star? I don't think he would get with her. And also, $130,000, if you're gonna sue a billionaire, isn't it like 10 million? That's just an amount of money that Michael Cohen had.
This is what they doing with her. They dragged her in court. She said it was fake already.
Yeah, she went on bail.
Dragged her back in there. That's what they do. All this treatment, the black folks of America been getting.
Exactly.
It's nothing new.
Been real
Exactly.
low.
This is just a worldwide
Now
situation.
people see it, exactly.
Same way they go
We've been
get
telling
the...
our
It's been happening to me too. Hey, thanks for speaking to me, man.
problem,
Take care of
man.
yourself.
Hope I see you, man.
Trump 2024. Crowdsource the truth on YouTube. Thank you.
I got you.
Enjoy, you guys. Take care. Crowdsource the truth. Absolutely.
Yeah, word. Trump all day. Fuck Joe Biden.
Absolutely.
For you too.
Sorry? Yes.
I hope it is.
You guys
Let's go
from
to
the Bronx? Are you from the Bronx or you came here for the
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Well, I've been schooling in Brooklyn.
Aha, there you go. Trump 2024. Now
Trump
you look to me
2024.
like you might be Jewish.
Yes.
As am I. Have you been experiencing people hating on you?
I wear this for a reason.
Because if you wore the yarmulke, people would attack you, and it happened.
Yeah.
Be safe, man.
Yeah, you too.
Take care of yourself.
The world will be normal again. 2025.
Take care.
Trump 2025.
Trump 2024.
Gotta be honest, not a fan, but
So there we go. We have people here at the back of the speech. Yeah, here's the disgusting pond.
What's your channel called?
Crowdsource the Truth.
Crowdsource the Truth. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys. On YouTube. Crowdsource.
crowd for this.
Sorry?
The main crowd for this.
I can't hear you.
The main crowd for this event.
Oh, the main crowd. Go out here and make a right, but you're not going to be able to get in, I don't think.
Even in the back.
Check it out. So we got people crowding out this event for sure. Everybody wants to be here. Now that looks like a serious pit bull. Yeah, see, I mean, that little tiny smiling dog, when it weighs 120 pounds, taking craps. Go this way, okay. He's saying don't go there. Okay. Sorry. See, the funny thing is, whenever you come to a Trump rally, the Trump supporting people are always friendly. And it's these Antifa loving people who go crazy and hang out and try to start fights. But whether it's Washington, D.C., and that guy said, where is he from? Baltimore. When we had January 6th, we had people from all over the place. And everybody's always friendly. Yeah, we got a bad flood here from the rain, I guess. Listen, I think whatever race anybody is, and whatever race the person running for president is, people want somebody who's not an idiot and who can run a big, complicated thing like the United States. And if you want to compare Trump to Biden, it's quite an easy comparison to see. I liked that enthusiasm of everybody over there when he mentioned Black and Hispanic voters, and they went nuts. That was good. It's good. This park is like permeated with Trumpiness today, in a good way. Yeah, like why is nobody having a barbecue over here? That was interesting. I think I heard that guy say that when he's getting off the train, he sees people barbecuing rats. Now, we've seen that on the internet, but I thought that was a hoax. Maybe that's some first-hand corroboration of rotisserie rats. Biden is a fraud. I agree, Heather. Someone says here, Shane says the dangers of pit bulls outlive their usefulness. Yeah, I know there's a controversy there, and I've known people who are pro-pit bull and anti-pit bull. That's what I'm saying. That little tiny dog in that guy's arm will melt your heart, but I'm sure 4 years from now when it's destroying my apartment and I can't control it, and it bites somebody because I don't know what I'm doing, that would be bad. So we'll let somebody who knows what they're doing get that dog. Yeah, that guy, right, he knew what was up. Now we got little police cars here. They think it's like Disneyland where they're misting the sidewalk or something. It's interesting. I don't want any of that at all. Hi. Well, I think that's pretty much all for today. If anybody, we could chat in the comments as I walk out of here. John says this might be one of the best live streams ever. Thank you, John. Now I'm a little bit, I think I have to go up that way. Okay, well, listen everybody, thanks for tuning in. Great live stream. Good to, you hear the roar go up for Trump. I'll watch this on playback when I get back home. But yeah, I just want to take the temperature of these types of things, see what the hell the cops are doing, what all their idiot friends are doing. Crackhead Barney, they're always hanging around the cops. Am I the only one who finds that weird? It's interesting. Where'd the sound go? Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. Sound. Hey, sound. What happened? Lost my sound. Can people hear me? All right, well, anyway, perfect timing to lose sound. There it is. The cops are always up to something stupid. Yeah, right, interviewing the various cops and seeing their different reactions. Remember, there's that one guy who laughed and smiled when I mentioned Orrin Levi. That lady, just, I don't know, the way they act, I just don't think, like that young guy, that young black guy, he was acting like a serious cop, asking me what's going on, telling me, hey, you know, before when you said this and that, I mean, he's monitoring the situation because I told him some detailed stuff. He said he knew the person that I was talking about. She's obviously hanging out with this guy in black clothing, holding a big bag filled with I don't know what. So that's the kind of thing that you want the cops to do. Hey, somebody suspicious is here, take a look. And they do, not shine me off and come up with every different reason why they can't even ask a person to put out a cigarette or take a bicycle off the sidewalk. What are you doing here if you're not going to enforce the law? I realize you're here to beat me up and give me a ticket for it, but that's a very unusual looking guy. All right, anyway, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the Donald Trump rally on Fox or wherever you might be watching it. That guy was covering his face too. I don't know why. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to become a sponsor. Go to odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth, crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com, or subscribestar.com, or patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. Thanks for sponsoring the show to everybody who does. I wouldn't be here today without the sponsors. We wouldn't have seen this. Wouldn't be finding out everything we know about Norm and Michael Flynn. Very surprised to see him unblock me and try to do whatever it is that he's trying to do. I want to learn more about what he was doing with Operation Cyclone and why so many people seem so concerned with Felix Sader. Oh yeah, that girl Julie Lewis. She came into a Twitter Spaces, the first X Spaces that I ever did, just the other night, and she was intent on having this debate that she had canceled, but obviously she wanted to catch me by surprise in somebody else's Twitter space that I don't control, that I didn't know she was going to be there for, and corner me and make it all about this stupid thing that she basically made up, rather than dealing with the actual facts and questions. But in the process of having her meltdown, where everybody on the Twitter space basically kicked her off for doing exactly what I alleged she was doing, which was making up nonsense and trying to just like not deal with the information that I was putting out, but attack me personally and avoid the questions. She said she's, you know, writing about heroes like Michael Flynn. And I said, there we go. Now we know what's going on. And it always seemed, you know, there was this kind of connection to Felix Sader, but it's not so clear. But stupid people like Julie Lewis saying stupid things like that are the types of little clues that fill us in. So there definitely seems to be a connection between retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. Now, I don't remember walking by this kid's playground, but oh boy, there's a guy pissing. Maybe I did. Oh yeah, right. But it definitely seems like she works for Flynn. And part of that work is the same, you know, speed demon on a bicycle right by the sign that says no electric bicycles. Anyway, we'll find out more about this soon.